Good evening, Vegas Sports Nation, and welcome to the Vegas Sports Scene. I'm your host, the Bat Frie Kenny Frie. I hope everybody's doing well out there in the old podcast land. I'm doing all right. Some storms rolled through earlier today, but got half the day was pretty nice out there watching a little bit of softball, high school softball, exciting stuff. But yeah, it's good day overall. Not bad at all. We'll kick right into it though. That's what we're gonna do. And the Raiders announced that they added some new coaches to their coaching staff. I was surprised when I read them that they weren't all Patriots, former Patriots coaches. So that shocked the crap out of me. Or a former Patriots player, which only one of them was, which again was surprising, but. Give them credit. They're going out of the box. See that? See what I did there? Out of the box. Okay. But anyway, so we have the Raiders are bringing on Scott Turner. Why does that name sound familiar? Turner. Well, that's the son of former Raiders offensive coordinator and head coach Norv Turner. So a little bit of familiarity. Oh, that is a hard word to say. I'll tell you what. Somebody that's familiar, there you go, with the organization, with the Raiders organization and stuff like that. So they bring him on. He was with the Washington Commanders, not the Redskins, the Commanders, the Washington Commanders, and he was just fired recently. So another man's garbage is another man's prize, I guess. He went to UNLV, so he has ties to Las Vegas. And so he's going to be our pass game coordinator, and he'll be working with Jimmy G and McDummy and Mick Lombardi. We got some comments rolling in here. Eileen beat Adam Glenn to the punch. Unbelievable. Eileen says, "I see what you did there with the out of the box thing. See that? Yeah, it's clever. That's what it is." And there he is. There's our boy Adam Glenn. What's up, Adam? Good evening, brother. Hope all is well with you guys, Eileen and Adam. Checking into every damn show we have. Awesome. Good stuff. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to all of our shows, our YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button, please. It helps us out incredibly. Before I go too much further here and forget to do it, I'm going to go ahead and put up a sponsor banner here. Monkey Colt Coffee. Let me get that off of there real quick. Monkey Colt Coffee. You check them out at monkeycoltcoffee.com. And they're awesome coffee, bourbon, chocolate chip. I've said it a million times before. I love it. I'll shout it from the mountaintops. I love that coffee. I thought it was fantastic. I'm at the bottom of my bag, so I have to order a new one. I've been doing it with cold brew. I'm going to get a small coffee maker, though. Like I said before, our K-Cup took a crap about a year ago. We just said, you know what, nuts to it. But now I got a reason to start drinking hot coffee again. But the bourbon chocolate chip, infused coffee was fantastic. I've been hearing nothing but good things about the rum cake also. And also later this month, they have I think it's this month, they have a new flavor coming out, toasted coconut rum. So make sure you check them out. They have a bunch of different things on their website at monkeycoltcoffee.com. Mugs, travel cups, or tumblers as I call them, whatever, if it's the same thing or not, I don't know. T-shirts, like I said about the rum cake, the bourbon infused coffee. They have a cold brew pitcher. That's what I also purchased. A K-Cup adapter so you can use their coffee in the K-Cup machines. And like I said, coming soon, toasted coconut rum. And when you buy all that stuff, when you purchase that stuff, check it out there on when you're checking out. Put in the discount code OOTB Sports for 10% off. That's OOTB Sports at monkeycoltcoffee.com. Tell them the Bat Frie sent you. So, all right. Hey, there I am. Beautiful, right? There it is. We got another comment. Real quick, Maiko. Oh, I got to put it up there first. Maiko Spencer. Wow, some new images. Wow, what a network. Wait, Adam is not the first comment? What's going on? I know, usually Adam's like right out of the gate, wham, with the comment. beating everybody. Nope, not this time. Eileen's like, I'm waiting at him. I'm coming for you, boy. That's what Eileen said. I don't know. Something's going on there. Yeah, check it. Big thanks to Paul Maiko Spencer. The new layouts and stuff like that look fantastic. Loving that Raiders and Golden Knights logo. I think that's great. You got the whole, the city that never sleeps right back there. I think that's what they call it. The city that never sleeps, or the city of lights. I don't know, one of the two. One of them's New York and one of them's Las Vegas. I don't know which one's which now that I think about it. But yeah, there's the city of Las Vegas right there in the backdrop, looking good, looking handsome. And then there's me just floating above it all, yucking it up, making it ghetto. So back to Raiders adding to the coaching staff. So I said Scott Turner. Now we're looking also at Matt Lombardi. They're bringing him in. Why does Matt Lombardi sound familiar? Well, that's because the Raiders' offensive coordinator is Mick Lombardi, Matt's brother. So a little bit of nepotism or something going on there. So Matt's coming on as an offensive assistant wide receiver coach. He was with the Panthers the most recently as an assistant quarterbacks coach. So he does have some NFL coaching experience. And Lombardi, of course, is rich with coaching blood, as you know. The NFL championship trophy is the Lombardi Trophy for a reason. So also bringing on Rob Leonard, a defensive line coach. He was the Baltimore offensive linebackers coach and defensive line coach. And he was also with Miami for 3 seasons previously. Now, last year when he was with the Ravens, Ravens had one of the best defensive lines in the league. They're top 5 in sacks. And where does our beloved Las Vegas Raiders struggle? In the sack department. Besides Max Crosby, who's one of the top pass rushers in the league, we got nothing. So I mean, Chandler Jones, like I said a million times on here, near the end of the season, started looking really good, but before that, nothing. It was bupkis, I tell you. Another comment. Here we go. Adam Glenn. Eileen wants to be the number 1 fan. That's taken, Adam. You could be 1A. She could be 1A1. We're all family here. We don't need number 1 fan wars here. But she's coming for you. I'm telling you. So Rob Leonard, it seems like that could be a huge addition for the Raiders coaching staff. So I'm for that. They also brought in Keith Hayward as defensive quality control guy, defensive quality control. He was the UNLV defensive coordinator, so he has ties to the city of Las Vegas, just like Scott Turner earlier, who went to college at UNLV. Keith Hayward, ex-UNLV DC. Never had a coaching job in the NFL, didn't play in the NFL. He played in the Canadian Football League. So we'll see what happens with that. So we have Eileen responding to Adam. Yup. Uh-oh. Is Linda in or on? I didn't see Linda's name pop up yet, but Linda, she checks in a lot of shows here. It's going to be battling here for number 1 fan between Adam, Eileen, and Linda Duarte. Usually she does check into all the shows. And here's the next one is Darius Swinton. He's coming in as the assistant special teams coach. Last season, he was with the Chargers as a special team coordinator. Then we have Danny Amendola, which is an interesting pickup, I think. Bringing Danny Amendola in. He's coming in as a coaching assistant and a returners coach. So Danny Amendola was a terrific returner with the Patriots, amongst other teams. There's a big list of teams that he played for. Not a big list, but a list. So the most famous one being his time with the Patriots, probably. So very good route runner, very good hands. Terrific returner. So that's going to help us in a couple different spots, because we do have a couple receivers that are built a lot like Danny Amendola, short. Well, I don't know what you consider short. He might be my height, but for wide receiver in the NFL, it might be short. And a terrific route runner, speedy underneath type stuff. So that, that could help like Hunter Renfrow and a couple guys we picked up in the offseason whose names escape me right now. That I know there was the one guy we picked up, I think, from the Chargers, actually, who I can't think of his name. I wish I could remember it. We do have it written down because I keep all my notes. But he's projected to be our new returner, kind of give Hunter Renfrow, less hits there. But he was a terrific punt returner. You bring Danny Amendola in, maybe take the next step with that in the kicking game. So that's good. I like that. So those are the Raiders coaches that are brought onto the staff just recently. Dave Yarnell, Cowboy Dave. Yeehaw, Cowboy Dave. What's going on, sir? How you doing, Dave? You can check Cowboy Dave out on Wednesdays on the Dem 215 boys, talking Cowboy football, amongst other shows on other networks. I think he does. I think he's on a wrestling show and stuff like that. Cowboy Dave's in a little bit of everything, I think. So yeah, we'll move on from that. So a little bit of draft talk. I talked draft a couple times, Raiders wise anyway, and I'm not going to get back into that right now. I'd like to make so next Thursday's a draft. I'd like to make a board up of the players I thought the Raiders would pick up, and then put next to them who the Raiders do pick up and see what it looks like. What I had compared to what they actually picked. I'm just curious anyway. But real quick, Mel Kiper Jr. has the Raiders taking Witherspoon at 7, and Osiris Torrance, an offensive guard, early second round, who only allowed 1 sack in 2022. And they said these two guys are ready-made starters. They'll come, plug right in and start day one. So that'd be interesting. Like I said, Witherspoon for me, or Gonzalez from Oregon. That's who I thought the Raiders should pick with their first round pick. So the quarterbacks that the Raiders have kind of been linked to a little bit to pick up. I'm going to read them off and some stats and stuff like that. But these are like late round picks that if the Raiders don't, for some reason, if the Raiders happen to pick a quarterback at 7, they're not going to pick a late round quarterback. I'm kind of hoping that they don't take a quarterback with the 7 picks. We have so many different types of needs that I think they should just go with, defense or offensive line. I think defense should be the number one priority. But anyway, this is what I got. So Jake Hayner from Fresno State, of course, DC. Derek Carr's from Fresno State. So you have a little bit of a connection there, a little bit of rapport with the with that school, that stuff like that. Adam Glenn says, "What does Dave think of Henry to the Eagles?" Oh, Henry, Derrick Henry from the Titans. I think that's what he's talking about. Dave, if you're still on, what do you think about Henry to the Eagles? So anyway, Jake Hayner, from everything I read, good ball placement, smart, good leader. His career through Fresno, 68.2% completion percentage, 9,000 yards, 67 touchdowns against 17 interceptions. In 2021, 67.1%, 4,000 yards, almost 4,100 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. 2022, he played only 10 games. For some reason, I couldn't find if there was an injury or something like that, but he only played 10 games. 72% completion percentage, 2,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So he seems to be very accurate. So yeah, that's kind of what I want. I don't want some guys that's going to go out there and give us 20 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, because that's what we had already. So then there's Dorian Thompson Robinson out of UCLA. He's from Bishop Gorman High School. So that's also, I believe, a Las Vegas high school. So he's familiar with the area. 69.4 completion percentage in 2022 with 2,873 yards passing, along with 25 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Not bad stats. He was originally a wide receiver, I believe I read. And so he's super athletic, not overly fast, but athletic enough, that he could run the ball or run those run pass option type plays. So that's something to really look out for. Aiden O'Connell from Purdue, 63.7% completion percentage. I like the guys, mid 60s up to 70. That's what you're looking for in today's NFL. Aiden O'Connell, 3,483 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Then there was also Tanner McKee, which I've seen a lot of, I don't want to say hype, but a lot of talk about the Raiders possibly looking at him later rounds if they don't get a C.J. Stroud early rounds. But I don't understand what the hype is with Tanner McKee. 61.2% completion percentage, 2,949 yards passing, with 13 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in 2022. So I don't understand the hype. I'm missing something with that. Like I said, I'm not a big college football guy, so I don't know. I know I heard the names, some of these names before, but that's about it. We got a wrestling cup here. We got Sergeant Slaughter. We got Roddy Piper. And who do I got here? Jake the Snake Roberts. There we go. See Jake Roberts there? Well, the snake. There he is. Look at him. The scowl. Jake Roberts. So, yeah. So that's what the quarterbacks that have been linked to the Raiders recently as possible late-round picks. And Eileen says, ooh, I like it. The Wrestling Cup. Yeah, Eileen's a big wrestling fan. I actually got that at the Walmart years ago. Many years ago, back when Roddy Piper was still alive and stuff like that. I loved Roddy Piper. I was just watching A&E's biography, Rivals, it was called, with Hogan and Piper. It was fantastic. Good stuff. And how protective Roddy was of his character, and it was really, really, really good stuff. I really liked it. You hear a lot of shit about Hogan, how he wouldn't put over certain guys, and how he wasn't easy to work with. But it seemed like he and Roddy kind of understood each other. Not in the beginning so much, but as time went on, it seemed like they really understood each other and got along well. Anyway, one last Raiders topic here before we move on to the Vegas Golden Knights. Josh Jacobs trade rumors. I haven't heard anything recently. We did talk about this last Saturday. It'd be very interesting to see what happens. He hasn't signed his franchise tag yet. They have until, I think, June something or rather to sign him to a long-term contract, or the franchise tag. And after the June date, whatever, like June 15th or whatever, they can't sign him to a long-term contract until the end of the season. I think that's what the rule is. I'm not 100% sure, but so I haven't heard anything. It wouldn't surprise me as well as he did. It seems like the kick in the nuts that us as Raiders fans are come to expect. More so over the last 20 years. Adam Glenn says, I didn't like Jake the Snake. Was it because of the snake, Adam, or you didn't like Jake Roberts personally? I don't know. Maiko says late third to fifth round, good project quarterbacks. Malik Cunningham, Louisville, Stetson Bennett, two-time NCAA champion. Yeah, also that little redhead from TCU. I can't think of his name right now, but he's a little firecracker, ain't he? So that'd be somebody I couldn't see him starting, but you just toss him on your roster to piss everybody off. I guess I don't know. He seemed like he could be. He seemed like a tough dude. The kid from TCU, which you give credit for, but he's not very big, but he's a fiery little fella. That's the ginger in him, I think. So it's if they do trade him, they should get a decent haul for him. But Maiko says Max Duggan, yeah, or Dugan. That depends on who you talk to. But since we're talking about wrestling a second ago, it's Duggan, which is like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho, USA! There we go. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Tough guy. I have fun with this, so that's what I do. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the Malik Cunningham. I don't remember hearing about him out of Louisville, but Stetson Bennett, of course, out of Georgia. I think he's a bit older type quarterback. it also reminds you of that quarterback that came out of Florida State. Was it Hankey or something like that? I can't remember what his name was. But he was a bit older than than most other college players. Were to the point where he was already balding and stuff. Anyway, so we'll have to watch the Josh Jacobs thing, especially when it comes to draft time, because you never know what could happen draft night. With trades and stuff. If they feel like they're not going to be able to sign a long-term deal with Josh Jacobs, dump him now and draft a running back, or see what you can get for him now while he's still hot. Instead of going into the season with the franchise tag and risk him getting hurt and risk you losing out on some sort of compensation. Maiko says, now I'm waiting for the Bushwhackers to walk in. Whoa! Yay! Recently, I'm not sure which Bushwhacker passed away. I think it was it Bushwhacker Butch? I think Butch passed away recently, which was a bummer. Maiko says Chris Wanky. Yeah, I said Hanky. That's the Christmas poo from South Park. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you. That little turd would bounce around Anyway, this is not a show about poo, so I'm not going to talk about it. So those were that's I haven't heard anything recently about the Josh Jacobs trade rumors as I was scouring the interwebs, the dark webs and the light webs and the webs in between. I didn't see anything else, but you never know. Nothing would surprise me with this organization. So just be prepared. That's all I can say about that. Excited for the draft next week, though. I'm always excited for the draft because you always get that feeling like, oh, this is it. This is going to turn it around until they pick, a receiver that runs 4.2 40 but can't catch the ball or run a route right. That's the Raider way. Getting depressed now thinking about the draft. All right, so on to the Vegas Golden Knights. They played Game 3 today against the Winnipeg Jets. So I'll get into that in a second. But so far, I want to give you a little not backstory. The first two games, the scores from the first two games. My thoughts, especially with Game 1, I didn't see Game 2. I tried, but I just didn't see Game 2. So Game 1, the Jets came out and they absolutely whooped the Golden Knights. And my thought watching Game 1 was that the Golden Knights didn't seem like they were ready for the playoffs. They almost seemed like it was too big of a moment for them. They're kind of like a deer in headlights. It just didn't feel like they were. It felt like it was too much for them. That's what I'm trying to say. It felt like it was too much for them. They did not play well at all, losing 5-1 in Las Vegas. Which is you don't want to lose like that in front of your home crowd. The home crowd was out of it right away. That place was so quiet. Early on. So the 5-1 score. It was 2-1 after 2. Then the 3 more goals in the third period to really put it out of hand. The lone goal from Carlson with assist from Barbashev and Marchessault. So not a whole lot to speak of from Game 1. Game 2 was a different story. The Golden Knights came out. They took control. They dictated the pace of the game. They come out and they win 5-2. And the Jets jumped out early on them, 1-0. But it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like it was a 1-0 game. Like you just felt like the Golden Knights had control of it. And they took a 2-1 lead in the second period. The Jets came back and tied it up. You'll give the Jets all the credit in the world with that. They're fighting back with it. But again, it didn't feel like it was going to be. It didn't feel like it was out of hand. And the Golden Knights finished it off in the third period with 3 goals in the third. So you got goals from Carlson again with an assist from Kessel and Riley Smith. Eichel scored his first playoff goal with an assist from Pietrangelo and Amadio. And also then you had Stevenson In the third with a goal, assist from Petrangelo and Stone. The captain back, Mark Stone. Mark Stone scores in the third period with an assist from Stevenson and Howden. And then Howden, and then Stone scored again, his second goal in the game, with an assist from Carlson and Kessel. So that takes us today. The series was tied 1-1 coming in today's game. So it's, it was looking good for the Vegas Golden Knights. They were up 4-1 going into the third period. Everything, I even commented on Twitter, like you could hear a pin drop because as they're back in Winnipeg now, the place was so quiet. It was almost laughable. They're just like mouths open like this, like they didn't know what hit them. Going into the third period, like I said, I think it was 4-1 going into the third. Let me double check here real quick with the box score here. Yeah, it was 4-1 going into the third period. It was 2-1 after one, 4-1 after two. And like you just felt like Golden Knights had it. It was locked down. It was over. It was done with it, just a formality then. But again, the Jets, they had no quit in them. They came back. They fought back. 3 goals in the third period. We went to 2 overtimes where the Golden Knights ended up. Where the Golden Knights ended up taking control of winning the game in double overtime. So it was a fantastic game. The ups and the downs in it, the story of it. Vegas on the ultimate high, being up 4-1. Like, all right, we're taking the series lead. To drop it all the way down, then all of a sudden you have Winnipeg. Scrappy Winnipeg. Who was a roller coaster all season. They're in the playoffs. They're out of the playoffs. They're in the playoffs. They're out of the playoffs. Calgary's nipping at their heels. They get into the playoffs. They get hot near the end of the season. So you're like, all right, Winnipeg's looking better. Hellebuyck came in. Connor Hellebuyck, came in super hot. Hellebuyck came in super hot. Playing very, very well, which I talked about last Saturday when I was giving a preview for the series. So it's when you got up 4-1 on Winnipeg, it's that was it. But no, it's really, really impressive for them to fight back like that, and then to lose it in double overtime. It has to be kind of heartbreaking for them. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out. If they come out flat next game, or if they come out fast and furious trying to get a lead up on the Golden Knights. That's gonna be interesting. So I have a scoring summary. I'm going to read through here for the game for the Golden Knights and the Winnipeg Jets. Period 1, you had Stevenson score with an assist from again Captain Mark Stone and Theodore. Got it up on ice. Got it up the ice really quick. It was a 2-on-2 situation, and Stevenson was able to put it in. Then Jack Eichel with a power play goal with an assist from Stevenson and Petrangelo. Petrangelo actually whiffed on the shot, kind of hit it a little bit. The way he swung that stick, you thought it was. I think it was off of. I think it was off of a one-timer, if I remember correctly. It looked like it was going to be a shot, but he basically whiffed on it, and it just like slowly rolled up. Like everybody's kind of like twisting and turning out of the way, expecting to get like destroyed by this puck coming through. Luckily, it fell back into Stevenson. Stevenson was able to pass it outside to Eichel, and Eichel one-timed it in. So it was a very fortunate type of goal. Very fortuitous, I guess is the word. So that was good. Then Winnipeg fought back. Connor scored a goal, make it 2-1. Golden Knights with an assist from DeMello and Dillon. It was a very nice deflection in. It was a slap shot from DeMello, I think, where Connor got a stick up and kind of chopped down a little bit, deflected it in. It was very, very nice. If you watch, if you happen to watch the highlights or just the scoring plays, go ahead and watch that one again by Connor. Really, really good, really nice. So you go to period 2, it's 2-1. Then Eichel comes out on another power play, scores again, getting his third goal of the playoffs in his third playoff game. With an assist from Petrangelo and Riley Smith. It seemed like when Eichel got the puck, it was just a wide open lane. Like I didn't see a whole lot. I mean, the goalie had great visibility also, but there was no obstruction. There was no, basically Eichel could kind of just pick his spot almost. Even though the goalie had clear vision of him, that's still a tough position to be in. So that made it 3-1. Then Kolasar makes it 4-1. He scores with an assist from Eichel and Amadeo. It was a nice rebound. Skated Kolasar skated right up the middle. He kind of went up the middle untouched, and there's the one Winnipeg Jet defender kind of whipped around then and slashed his stick as he shot, but he came right up the middle basically untouched. You want somebody to at least pick him up a little bit and kind of make it a little bit harder than that. But it was a nice setup, a nice play, and again, off the rebound, it was kind of fortunate. I don't remember. I think it was an Eichel that shot it, maybe, and it rebounded out, and then Kolasar went straight up something like that. So that's 4-1 going into the third. Like I said, dead ducks. I made my little TikTok video, my TikTok promo for the show. I talked about how the Winnipeg Jets were done. I was wrong. You know what? That's why you play the game. That's why you play to the sound of the horn. You don't head for the gates until it's over. That's why. So in the third period, come in. Niederreiter scores with an assist from Dubois and Pionk. It was a nice wrister using Pietrangelo as an obstruction, as a kind of a blinder almost. I think Pietrangelo kind of went down to a knee. Was that the play? And then he kind of wristed it right off, it's just barely missed Pietrangelo. And so to me, it looked like he probably used him as an obstruction or like a blinder or something like that for Brossoit, against Brossoit. So that helped the Jets out. Pietrangelo going down to block the shot, in my opinion, could have also obstructed the view of the goaltender. Shefeli scored. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I practiced saying his name a million times now. I can't remember how it is. Shifley, I think that's it. He scored on a power play. Another assist from Pionk, and Connor gets another point with an assist. It was right over glove hand, a really nice wrister again. So that was really nice. Just again, if you watch the highlights, it was a really nice wrister. Just went up over top of the glove. Really, really good glove side. Good goal. That makes it 4-3. Now with 21 seconds left, you have Lowry score. Another assist from Pionk. That's 3 assists in the third period alone for Pionk. Tons of traffic and pressure. It was just wild, insane. They pulled the goalie, so they have the extra skater. They're passing it around. But all of a sudden, they just start bombarding the net. One guy after another. They're shooting. There's rebounds everywhere. People are on the ground. Cats marrying dogs. All hell's breaking loose. Our pets' heads are falling off. So it's just insanity. 21 seconds left. It reminded me a lot of the Kings game the other day where they scored with 16 seconds left against the Oilers. And it's, like I said, insanity. It was insanity. That ties it up 4-4 with 21 seconds left. So first overtime comes. I felt like the Golden Knights put a ton of pressure on Connor Hellebuck. I think they put on a lot of shots. It seemed like they were on the move a lot more than what the Jets were. I could be wrong with that. But that's just how I viewed it. That's my opinion, as it were. So yeah, a lot of pressure in overtime 1. They come out in overtime 2. I felt like it was the same thing. The Golden Knights just pushing. Then finally, Amadeo was able to push through and get the game-winning goal with an assist from Barbashev. So what happened was the puck got knocked down to the Winnipeg backboard. That wasn't behind the net. It was off to the, I guess it would be, it depends on how you're looking at it. If you're watching the TV screen, it'd be on the right-hand side. And Sandberg didn't clear it, I guess, like how you would normally see that a player clear. Usually they kind of flick it up along the wall. It rolls out the wall and up the side. He was aiming for the wall, but he kind of tried to pass it straight out towards the wall. And when he did that, you had Barbashev coming down and hit the inside of Barbashev's leg right to Amadeo. Or Amadeo, I mean. I keep calling him Amadeo. It's Amadeo. Former King Amadeo. Eileen says Rangers on power play with 5:20 left in the third, 1-1. A very good game going on there. Also, I was watching that. The Rangers scored first, and the Devils scored. Both goalies playing fantastic. Shesterkin had a penalty called against him. I don't know if it was for roughing or whatever it was, but he kind of got pissed off because one of the Devils players fell on his legs and stuff, and he kind of roughed him up a little bit. And I think that led to the Devils' goal, actually. And I'm not sure who the Devils' goalkeeper is. I think it starts with a V. I can't remember what it is, but he's a young dude, and getting his first. I think it's his first start in the playoffs. I could be wrong with that, but both goaltenders playing well. Both teams playing really well. The Rangers have pretty much owned the Devils that series, up 2-0 in the series. Devils really, really need this game. So that was that. Amadio able to put it in. Like I said, it was a poor clearing attempt by Sandberg from the Jets. Hit Barbashev in the leg, deflected right to Amadio, and he's able to put it in. So the goaltender wise, Hellebuck stopped 43 of 48 shots with an 8.96% save percentage, and Brossoit stopped 30 of 34 with an 8.82 save percentage. Neither goalie really shining, but they faced a decent amount of shots, 48 shots, 34 shots. Eileen says the only thing that annoys me is Jersey Mike's ad on the boards, and the damn fake hockey puck goes around the board. But so it's like they started using like green screens and stuff like that on the boards. I don't know when they started doing that, but a lot of the games I'm watching, it just sometimes it doesn't like work right, and then like all of a sudden like half of a person will disappear, and yeah. But yeah, you got hockey, you gotta love it. I love playoff hockey. So that's what I got for the Golden Knights. They play again Monday, the 24th. I assume late at night, probably 9 and 10:30, somewhere around there. In Winnipeg again, I think. Yeah, in Winnipeg for Game 4, and then they'll be off until Thursday, I believe. So yeah, I think they get an extra day off, so it would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so I think it'd be Thursday they return. I could be wrong with that too. I don't know. I did look at the schedule, but now I don't remember if that was right. But they do play Monday again. The next time that they play against Winnipeg would be Monday. And yeah. So we'll move on. Actually, before we move on, I got one more. Oh, hang on. Let me take that off of there. Scoring summary. Yep. I got one more brand to put up right here. Wallpaper. It's our weekly broadcast schedule. You can see all the awesome shows there. Good stuff. Our next show coming up actually is after me. It's the Rangers on Ice with Dynamite Dan. Our boy Dan. He does a Rangers pre-show and a post-show. So I wish I could do that with the Kings. I'm sure you probably all know I'm actually a Kings fan. I'm not a Golden Knights fan, but I do root for the Golden Knights when it does not affect the Kings and they're not playing against the Kings. So I do root for the Golden Knights. I was happy they won. I'd like to see the Kings play the Golden Knights. It would make it kind of weird talking about the Kings on Wednesdays and the Golden Knights on Saturdays, but you know what? That's my middle name. It's freaking weird, man. So anyway, yeah, after my show, after the Rangers are done playing, come on to Out of the Box Sports Network on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and watch the Rangers postgame, Rangers on Ice with Dan, and you guys can talk about the Rangers. So Eileen, make sure you tune in after the game to chit chat with Dan about the good, the bad, and hopefully the great for Rangers fans, not the ugly. So, and also our next show after that would be the Joystick Junkies. The next time I am on would be this Wednesday coming up at 10 a.m. with the Batcave. I'm going weekly right now. I'll probably stay weekly the rest of the baseball season. I wouldn't do weekly now because of the hockey playoffs. But you know what? Screw it. Baseball season's here. I got stuff to talk about. So So yeah, so this upcoming Wednesday, 10 a.m., the Bat Cave. Make sure you tune in. Show me some love. Doesn't have to be about the Mets or the Kings. It could be about anything: life, love, liberty, justice, Batman, whatever you want to talk about. I'm up for it. So that's that. We got a comment. Eileen here. Yep, ready to go. Hopefully it's the great also. I do like the Rangers. I said I like the Rangers coming into the playoffs. I thought they've been playing very, very well. And I could see them knocking Boston off. They're headed up to Boston. Whoa. Or shipping up to Boston, I guess it is. I messed it up. Oh yeah. Eileen says he will not be a happy camper if they lose. No, it'd be interesting too because he's done two Rangers pre-games and post-games so far. They've won both, so it'd be interesting to see what happens after they lose one. I know. When the Kings lost their game 2, I was not a happy camper, even though it was a good game, it was a decent game, but yeah. So I got a brand new Kings jersey. First Kings jersey I bought since the early 90s, just because jerseys are expensive. That's why. But anyway, I got a Drew Doughty jersey off Fanatics, and it's a Fanatics brand. It's not the authentic NHL one because they're like insanely priced. But anyway, I got to wear that today for the first time, walk around strutting my stuff. Yeah, I like the Kings and Drew Doughty. La 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 la. So that was fantastic. Eileen says, "Yep, going to OT." Oh man, if it's gonna be one of those 5 OT games, Dan's gonna be on here at 2 a.m. talking about it. But as soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna finish watching that game. Also, I know it's gonna upset my daughter because she's watching a movie right now. But I'm gonna say, so on to the next subject: the Las Vegas Athletics. Well, we've talked about it. Rob and I. Rob was always giving us updates because he hears more about Las Vegas stuff than I do because I'm in Pennsylvania, which is nowhere near the great city of Las Vegas. So the Las Vegas Athletics, the Oakland Athletics management group agreed to a lease on some land in Las Vegas on the Strip, just a few minutes away from the Allegiant Stadium, home of my beloved Las Vegas Raiders. So if they move, if it does go through, and it is the Las Vegas Athletics, then I will have an American League team to kind of root for. And since I'm a glutton for punishment with the teams that I select, why not the Athletics? I guess. The one thing about the Athletics, they've played shit the last 2 seasons. This season already included. But they are almost like a perennial playoff team. I think out of the last 20 years, they've been in the playoffs like 11 or 12 times. I think I said this last week also. I don't remember. Or no, you know what? I think I said on the Bat Cave when I was talking about the Mets and Athletics series. But they are a perennial playoff team. So they were. They're kind of in shambles right now. If I'm the city of Las Vegas, if I'm whoever's leasing land, whoever like, all right, we're going to give you this much money to help you build a stadium. Like they gave Mark Davis like $700 million out of taxpayer gambling money or whatever the hell it was. I'm not into the politics part of it or that part of it. I don't really care where the money comes from or anything like that. It doesn't matter to me. You vote these people in. That's what they do with your money. That's what they do with your money. I'm fine with it. I don't care. I mean, he says, I hope A's move. It comes with some actual spending on free agents. And that's what I was getting ready to say, Eileen. So if I'm like, agreeing to the A's, I'm saying, now listen, guys, if you're coming in here, you need to retain some stars, create some stars, or bring a star in. So at least just to put asses in the seats until you are able to build up your farm system again, until you're able to build up your roster. Because if you're going to have a crap team, you at least want to have a couple guys worth seeing. They have nobody worth seeing right now. Nobody. And there's a couple young guys in the lineup that can hit, but there's nobody really to spend money on to go watch. Here he is, Danny. This game is stressful, man. Oh, That's why I said if this goes 5 overtimes, you're going to be on here at 2 a.m. doing the post game. He also says, "What's up? Hey, what's up, Dan?" You can check Dan out Mondays on the Joystick Junkies, and Mondays at 8:00, and also Fridays, the Big Blue Power Hour with Evan and Stacy talking. My phone went off. Talking New York Giants football, and Mondays Joystick Junkies is about gaming. So joystick, pew pew pew, that stuff. So if anybody out there that's watching, and the millions of followers that I got out there, the millions and millions watching out there, and you happen to be on Twitch, check out the Joystick Junkies. Tell your other gamer buddies about it. And go on, help them out, with the gaming stuff, and get them some views, because gaming's a huge market. It's a huge thing, and I want to see the Joystick Junkies do well. I want to see the network do well, but I also want to see my podcasting buddies do well. So the Athletics are moving right up the street from the Raiders. They have to spend money. They have to do it. Las Vegas shouldn't expect a winner, a championship right away. They should expect a winner, a few years, in, though. It's not inconceivable with today's free agency and stuff like that, but you got to be able to spend. And like I said, but the Athletics do make the playoffs, quite often. So they do have players, but they ship them off as soon as their contracts comes up. They don't want to pay them the money; they ship them off. So they have to be willing to spend. If they're not going to win, they have to have some superstar talent, some not even superstar, star talent, some sort of name to draw in some people, because you cannot have the numbers that they have in LA or in Oakland now, because nobody goes to those games. I think they did have like 16 or 17,000 there when the Mets were there at the one game, and that was the most they had there all season. And there's some games there where it looked like a pandemic baseball, where they just had the cardboard cutouts on some certain spots. It was bad. It was awful. So that stadium's just a shithole anyway. I think they showed some video of some workers like putting duct tape on the stadium and stuff like that. It's even when the Raiders were there, it was a crap hole, and got rowdy. Got my Yingling rocking out here. So it's going to be for the better in the long run. It's kind of a bummer to see them see Oakland lose another franchise. I said this on the Twitter machine, because Oakland, they did have a terrific fan base for the Raiders for all those years. When they were originally in Oakland and they left to Los Angeles, came back to Oakland, those fans were still there. Those fans were there with their open arms. So I feel bad for them. It's a blue collar town. It's a blue collar city, and they get crapped on. It's I don't want to say it's poverty stricken, but I don't think it's the richest neighborhood in town, Oakland, California. But I know San Francisco, they with their noses in the air all the time, and white collar folk, clucking their tongues and stroking their beards, and thinking they're all high and mighty and crap over there across the bay. And then you have poor Oakland just losing all their franchises. So it's a shame. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for the city. I feel bad for the workers that are going to lose jobs, and the businesses that are going to lose business because of it. That's going to close businesses who relied on people going to those games. And not many people go to the Athletic games, but I'm talking Athletics, Raiders, the Golden State Warriors, who are pretty much playing San Francisco now, I think, but they were in Oakland. So, it's a damn shame that it comes to this, but, they don't want to build a new stadium, which is needed. So yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think their lease is up in 2027. Oakland mayor said that they're not negotiating with the Athletics anymore. So whether or not they're going to keep them, I don't know. Are they going to move on from them? Are they going to, say you got to be out by 2025, or whoever they lease the land from, are they going to just buy out that contract? I don't know. I will have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to be 2027. I think it'll be sooner. Does that mean that they might have to play in a minor league ballpark for a little bit? I mean, it is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's going to be sooner. So here on our last topic, actually, before I get into the last topic, I'm going to go one more banner. One more note here. Where I got to find it here. Me, as a coach of this team here, the Not Your Average Janes, it's 14U girls softball team, travel softball team. So we're always looking for funds. The prices of balls are insane. The prices of tournaments that we get into are insane. But we like trying to keep the cost down for parents just because we want to see their daughters play. We're not a high-level softball team. We're a C-level softball team. If you follow travel softball, I think it's across the same across the board through all states. But C-level, is basically a step up from rec, but it's not your like super high, competitive. But it's good. The girls get out there, play, they get reps, but it costs money. And so I've been asking is if you'd be willing to donate, please hit me up. Like anything matters. Everything counts. It's for $5. It doesn't matter what it is. $1. It'd help us out greatly. And then so Out of the Box Sports would then become a sponsor. It'd be Out of the Box Sports and fans, and Out of the Box Sports Nation. We'll decide on that. But yeah, so anything's very, very much appreciated. I know the girls would appreciate it. I'd greatly appreciate it. Like I said, balls, I think for a dozen balls is like $80, $90, $100 or something like that now. It's nuts. It's insane. They price people out of it, what they do. So we try to keep our fees down. To practice indoors over the winter, that costs money also. So every little bit helps. Every little bit counts. I appreciate it very much. And that's all I got to say about that. And then one more thing. Aviana Gillog, which was a guest that they had on the Fight Club 215 on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. She's a second-ranked boxer in the United States from Western PA. She's also a Gold Glove winner. And she's looking to make the Olympic team. In order to do that, she has to go through nationals and stuff like that. So they have a GoFundMe account. So if you want to check that out, and also a Cash App, the information's right there in the banner. So if you want to help her out, much appreciated. And like I said, every little bit helps. Some of that will also go towards her towards their gym that she created. Smart kid, 15 years old. Smart kid, got a great head on her shoulders. Banged up a little bit from boxing, and she said she wants to be a bare knuckle boxer when she gets older. So tough. She's very, very tough. We'll just say that. So help her out if you can. Help her out before you help the Not Your Average Janes out. That's what I would say with that. If you can, help Aviana out first, and if you're feeling generous that day, throw another $5 Not Your Average Janes way. If you're gonna donate to the Not Your Average Janes, hit me up through Messenger or something like that, and I'll give you my Venmo handle or PayPal. And like I said, Aviana stuff, information's right there. And we got some comments before I get to Mark Davis stuff. Adam Glenn, who actually donated to the Not Your Average Janes. Thank you, Adam. No driving on our show. You wonder why you don't get paid. I know why I don't get paid. Big Mike checking in. What's up, Big Mike? You can check Big Mike out on the 4 for 4 Locker Room podcast on Thursdays at 8 p.m. and also the College Football Frenzy, 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. Mike is the man. Literally, he is very smart dude with sports, and a lot of cool stories, and he's a wrestler and stuff like that. I think that's fantastic. Eileen says Mikey, and Mikey replies back because they're on YouTube. They see each other's comments and say, "Hey, Eileen." Eileen says he would only get paid if he sang more. You know what? I'm going to do one whole show, the Batcave, because it's 10 a.m. And you know, I'm feeling chipper right before I get really tired. I'm feeling a little bit, you know, goofy. One whole show just going to be all singing. It's going to be like the sound of music or something like that. You know, doe, a deer, a female deer. It'd be like the Batcave, the Mets are the best, something like that. Mike might not agree with that, but so here we go. Adam Glenn, if you're still watching, Mike, hopefully you're still on. Adam Glenn asked Cowboy Dave, like I think Cowboy Dave hopped off, what the deal with Derrick Henry is. So is Derrick Henry, is he an Eagle now, or is that just a rumor, or what are you hearing, Mike? Adam says no drinking. Actually, Adam, I got the Yingling right here, brother. Hershey Porter. Delicious. In my wrestling cup, like I said, I got the Jake the Snake. I got the Sergeant Slaughter Maggot. Then I got Roddy Piper. So yeah, Mike, if you're still on, hopefully you are. What's up with Derrick Henry? Give us the heads up here. So back to the regularly scheduled program. No more singing. Mark Davis, not an A's fan. We got a comment here. Big Mike. Reports of a trade. Nothing's official though. Just reports. So I did see like a picture of it, but I didn't read the article because I didn't have my spectacles with me. My spectacles, and so reports of a trade. Do you think it's going to happen? That'd be a huge ass trade. I'll tell you that. Now the Eagles do have I think 3 first-round picks or something like that, 2 or 3, I believe. Would they give a first-round pick up to for a guy that's used a lot? Oh, there we go. Mike Laurel, 2nd or 3rd rounder for Derrick Henry. That'd be worth it, I think. Get maybe 2 good years out of him yet. If you use them right, if you don't use them every down or 3 yards in a cloud of dust style, you might be able to get it more than 2 years out of them. So Mark Davis, not an A's fan. So I forgot all about this, about when the Raiders were moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. So Mark Davis wanted to stay in Oakland. That was his biggest thing. He wanted to stay in Oakland, and it didn't go his way. Obviously, he's in Las Vegas now. Oakland would not build the stadium he wanted, and a lot of that has to do with the A's. I guess he's saying that the A's squatted on a 10-year lease deal, so the Raiders wouldn't be the main attraction in Oakland. The Raiders had to stay sharing a baseball stadium with the Athletics. So Mark Davis had some interesting comments about it, and here we go. I'll read the comments off to you. It says, "I won't forget what they did to us in Oakland. They squatted on a lease for 10 years and made it impossible for us to build on that stadium. They were looking for a stadium. We were looking for a stadium. They didn't want to build a stadium, and then went ahead and signed a 10-year lease with the city of Oakland and said, we're the base team. So basically that gives the more leverage to the city of Oakland than it would have if both your teams saying, hey, we're united, we want this stadium. But now you have one saying, no, we're the base team, we don't need a stadium. And the other team is just SOL then. Mike says RPO with Hurts would be deadly. Oh, my God, yeah. Absolutely. Just thinking of the speed, Hurts running the ball, and you have Derrick Henry smashing the ball, and surprised the shit out of me how accurate Hurts is. I didn't think he was that accurate, but he's a very accurate passer. So yeah, that's a hell of a combo. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch if they do get Henry, a healthy Henry. So back to Mr. Bowl Cut, Mark Davis, and then they went ahead and signed a 10-year lease with the city of Oakland and said, we're the base team. And And due to the Athletics' lease on the Coliseum, the Raiders were unable to keep their home stadium up with the times for their purposes, leading to ownership eventually exploring other opportunities. And Davis accuses the Athletics of trying to keep the Bay Area market all to themselves, pointing out the betrayal of their slogan back then, which is kind of funny because they're not rooted in it, but their slogan was rooted in Oakland. I mean, they've moved as much as the Raiders have. They started in Philadelphia. They stopped in Kansas City on their way to Oakland for like 13, 14 years. I mean, so Oakland was already their third home. So they're not rooted in the shit, man. But that was their slogan, and that was their mantra. And but now I guess they're gonna pry their not so deeply rooted roots up out of the ground and move along. So he also says the slogans they've been using have been a slap in the face to the Raiders, and they were trying to win over that type of mentality in the Bay Area, kind of trying to turn the fans on the Raiders. Well, all they did was F the Bay Area. That's what Mark Davis said. For them to leave Oakland without anything is pretty screwed up. So the state of the Coliseum is garbage. Like I said a minute ago, the Coliseum is a shit show. It's done. The Coliseum's done. It's been done for years. That's one of the reasons why the Raiders wanted a new stadium. They wanted to stay in Oakland. I believe that 100%. But that's what happened. So Mark Davis, not a fan of the A's. He says he has nothing against the players, nothing against the fan bases, because many A's fans are Raiders fans and vice versa. But he said the ownership group can suck it. I'm doing a crotch chop. DX style. They could suck. All right. You get it. More wrestling references there. So yeah. So it was kind of a shock to hear Mark Davis come out about it. But after I read it, I'm like, oh, I do kind of remember that stuff going on now. When they kept looking for a stadium, they kind of had a deal for a stadium, a whole complex area. But then eventually it was turned down in city council or something like that. Something political came up and they ended up turning it down. I think Oakland, the Athletics and Oakland leadership were working on a deal where they'd have a stadium by the bay with a whole village or whatever the hell that means. But now none of that happens. People lose their jobs. Businesses go out of business, and Oakland's even poorer than it was before. So, yeah, it's really screwed up in my mind. It's a shame for Oakland. It's watching Raiders games as shitty as Raiders have been for so long. They'd still show up, dressed in black and the black hole and stuff like that. And nuts is, if we're not going to win the game, you know what? Might as well look good doing it. Wearing silver and black. But it is what it is now. Las Vegas grows another team. I mean, it's from the Aces to the Golden Knights to the Raiders, and now more than likely the Athletics. They're just a basketball team away from being a sports mecca right there. Which an NBA team. They'll probably end up having, I think, within the next 5-6 years. I wouldn't, and I think it'd be a brand new team. I don't think it's going to be a team that moves there. I think it'll be a brand new expansion team. But I think within the next 5 years or so, I think we'll hear more about that, especially when old man LeBron James gets out of basketball. I know he's expressed interest, according to Mayor Rob, Vegas Rob there. He's mentioned it a bunch of times about brawny LeBron James wanting to get a team in Vegas. So yeah. So that's what I got for tonight. I don't have anything else to talk about. I know you're all disappointed, the thousands and thousands of you. It was millions, but now it's not. It's down to thousands. So that's all I got. One more time, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsor. Let me get the banner off of there. Mark Davis, Monkey Cold Coffee. Check them out, monkeycoldcoffee.com. The bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee. New flavor coming up soon, the toasted coconut rum, which sounds fantastic. Check out their rum cake. And a whole bunch of other stuff they have on their website. at monkeycoatcoffee.com and use that promo code OOTB Sports, OOTB Sports, and to get a discount at checkout. So, all right. So that's all I got for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's a lot easier when people are commenting. We got a nice banter, a nice chat. It's like you're talking to somebody right in front of you. So I appreciate it very much. And make sure you check me out Wednesday, 10 a.m. on the Bat Cave, talking Mets and Kings and whatever else pops up. Maybe some singing, maybe not some singing. Who knows? Probably some singing. Yeah, it seems like every show I get a lyric or two in there, and really start spreading my vocal talents across the nation. American Idol, watch out! The Bat Frie's coming. One more comment before I head out. My number one fan, don't tell Adam. My number one fan, Eileen. Good show. Thank you, Eileen. Hopefully, I see you on Wednesday. Keep everything going for you at work there. Keep work interesting for you. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Check me out Wednesday, 10 a.m. After the Rangers game tonight. Make sure you check out my boy Dan on the Rangers on Ice post-game show. Hopefully it's a good one. And so that's all I got. Check me out. Also, the Vegas Sports League next Saturday night at 10 p.m. again. And, yep. Let's go Raiders and just win, baby. Go Golden Knights. Same bat time, same bat channel. All those slogans that I usually spat out there. There they are. Peace.